shit's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit is fucking banana. Shit is crazy. You have got to have. You got to have some. I don't give a fucking. But it is what it is. You know, this life has a little bit of everything. Whatever you want, just involve yourself in that space, and you could absolutely have it, whether good or bad. You know what I'm saying? You could immerse yourself in that environment, and it is guaranteed that you'll get that. You'll get that lifestyle. You'll get that way of thinking, that way of living. If you want to be whatever it is that you want to be. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times it's hard to get into environments where the good stuff is gotten. And the reason that is because it doesn't come easy. Right? So if we're talking about a materialistic gain, if we're talking about just having a cool Hellcat, a little bit of just fun toys to have, that's not hard to come across. You could actually get into those environments a lot easier than it would take to get into an environment where work is required in order for you to accomplish those materialistic gains. There is a trade-off with everything. One of the things that I think about, I've thought about this, and I didn't act on it, but I have thought about how I think about my fucking son. I think about the lack of connections that I have, you know, assets, and giving off some assets to my son is great. But I think about the amount of connections that I'm going to give to my son, and the answer is zero. I have no connections. I have no good connections that I could connect my son with. There's nobody in this world that I could say, number one, that I know enough to trust. And it's not because people aren't trustworthy. It's because of me. It's because of me not putting in the time to develop relationships with people that matter. In the past, I believe I've done a great job at actually following through. If I said I'm going to do something, and following through. But I chose to pull away from an association that was worth introducing to my son. I pulled away from that association, and you know, whatever the reason, no excuse will do. You know, I could have handled it completely different going back. You know, I could name a bunch of different ways in which I could have handled what I did and how I did it, but I didn't. You know, the truth is, I handled it how I did, and that's just what I have to deal with the ramification. But I think about the friends that I have, or the lack thereof. I think about, you know, if I were to have my son with me right now, who could I call? Who could I call to say, hey, you know, I'm actually going to make some money. Can you watch my son? Nobody, you know. And obviously these connections would be built if I thought in advance, and also that's you know, sometimes we don't really focus on it. It's not top of mind, meaning I don't have my son with me, so why would I even focus on having somebody ready to watch my son? Well, what I could do is start developing relationships to where, not needing anything specific, but developing relationships to where I could provide value. And if ever I needed something, there's enough good that I've done in the world where I actually have someone to reach out to. Come on. Fuck. I slipped on that one. Fuck. Yes. Hopefully there's no fucking traffic heading north. It doesn't look like there isn't. It doesn't look like there is traffic, so we're good on that. But yeah, man, I'm just starting fresh. I'm starting fresh again. I'm still young, and I know what I want. I've actually been working toward it. Of course, I would like materialistic stuff. I would like a cool car. I would like a bad bitch or a couple of them. You know what I mean? Really to catch a man. At the end of the day, I would like a fucking sexy ass girl that I could just exert some energy in. Outside of that, you know, that shit's all tertiary. After I nut, then what? You know what I'm saying? What? You want another one? Fuck out of here, bitch. So I'm starting to develop to wanting something bigger than that, to working towards something bigger than that. And it all starts with me. It starts with my mindset, what I'm putting inside of my mind, who I choose to associate with. I have not associated with anybody that's positive personally, but I have from a virtual point of view. So I just want to give a shout out to my virtual mentors, those that don't even know they're influencing me. Continue to do my part and just be good to people, you know what I mean? Even though I did pull away from an association and I didn't do it correct, if you will, I don't believe I betrayed anyone, you know what I'm saying? Even though I pulled away my own reasons, I personally did, I wasn't man enough to tell a girl, hey, that's it, you and me not connect. I didn't have a sack big enough to actually say that. So I went out of my way. To destroying myself, my reputation, my image, everything. I just didn't give a fuck. Whatever it took to get the fuck away from that bitch. And I did it. I absolutely did it. Whereas now, cross me if you're stupid. You're awesome. I'll give her a hug, give her a little kiss on the forehead, and walk away. Walk away. And if we're living together, if she's living in my place, you have got to go. Give her a 30-day notice. If you do not have a place to go, I will leave immediately. I've done that, and I don't give a fuck. I would absolutely leave a place immediately. Nothing's gonna lock me in. I'll end it with this. It's funny because a lot of girls, from my experience, I had so much respect. I was, being a cuck, what they call a cuck. I was being a stepfather. And so much fucking respect. I'm sure nobody in this world relates. Maybe I'm the only one that experienced this. But I had hella respect. Talk about top notch, bitch, like clean my toes. No, not like that, but just to give it an example, it was just a high level of respect. There was no barriers, no lines that was crossed, because at any moment, this is just me speculating. She knew her value was less. Not as a human, but in the sexual marketplace, bitch, come on. You have a son, a kid. There's so many more options out there. Just tighten the fuck up, and she knew that. I didn't look at it like that, but in retrospect, I look at it like, damn, maybe this is where the respect came from. So this is all hindsight. I'm thinking of it in terms of after the fact. I wasn't processing this at the moment, but all I know is that I had a high level of respect at that moment, and all of a sudden, when I had a son with her, when a couple factors. And respect went out the fucking window. And I'm not sure if women say, oh, I got this nigga in the bag, he ain't going nowhere, I know his story. I don't really know what's going through the mind of a woman. But bitch, I don't give a fuck if we have a son, 6 kids, 20. You must respect at all levels. And if you could do it, I know you could do it. So I know you could do it because you did it. I know you could do it because I would have not been fucking with you if you couldn't. I just would have not dealt with you for the time that I did. And but it's all good. I'm not saying that I fucked up. That I didn't fuck up. I'm not saying that I didn't drop the ball. But it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm making the fucking decisions, my way or the fucking highway. Fuck out of here. So I say all that to say this. Continue growing. Continue developing. Live within your frame. I just had to get that shit out of my chest. Keep growing, boys. Don't let nobody hold you back. Don't let nobody hold you hostage because of some fucking narrative that this world has created. Figure it out. Be a good person. Be better than me. I'm not saying be a fuckboy. Be a great person. Figure it out. Don't let nobody stop you. Let's go.